Living in Victory listeners, during the time we taped this podcast recording, the WNBA was in their free agency period. You know how it works. Teams are trading to get players and stacking their rosters. Since then, Lexie Brown has been traded from the LA Sparks to Seattle Storm. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the show. Living in Victory podcast listeners, welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Liv West, the best host in the game, as I host for the Indiana Pacers, the Indiana Fever, Athletes Unlimited Pro Basketball, and Indy Ignite Pro Volleyball Federation. Listeners, we are in for an absolute treat today. Joining us in conversation is Lexie Brown, or should I say Big Shot Brown, Glen Coco, you might know her like that. Lexie Brown is a sharpshooter, the 9th pick of the 2018 WNBA draft out of Duke University, and a current LA Sparks player. She's a fashion icon, a sharpshooter, and the host of the Full Circle podcast. Living in Victory family, please give a warm welcome to Lexie Brown.
Yes, Energizer tambourine.
That Energizer tambourine. That's an inside joke, and I think we're gonna keep it in there because if they want to sponsor, they're gonna say that's not a tambourine. That's a drum.
For you. It's a
Close
drum.
enough. Okay. Lexie, what's up with you? Thanks for joining us.
Of course, happy to be here.
Yes, happy to have you because you are currently playing in a professional league, right? It is WNBA off season, and you're continuing to hone in your skills, not just as a shooter as you are, but truly a floor general. You know, been in the league for some, couple of years now, and I can definitely see just your game continue to grow. And you continue to be more of a facilitator and not just, listen, like you can shoot the ball, which is so good. But I just think overall leadership wise, it's been really, really a pleasure to watch that.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So where do we start? Basketball started for you early, like when you came out the womb because of your father playing for 12 seasons in the NBA. And y'all, he won the 1991 dunk contest.
Sure did.
So how cool. Tell us kind of about your upbringing and basketball journey.
Yeah, like Liv said, my dad played professionally. My mom played in college. So basketball has just always been front and center in our family. I didn't start off playing basketball. You know, when you're a little kid, you kind of try all the things, cheerleading, soccer, baseball, dancing. I did it all. I swore I was going to be a ballerina, a cheerleader. But then I started wanting to have a little bit more quality time with my dad, and that's kind of where that love of basketball grew. I just wanted to spend time with dad. So we started, honing in on my skills. I wasn't very good. I was a little chubby when I was growing up. So that's where that development of the shooter and being really fundamentally sound came from, because he's like, I don't know if you're going to grow. I don't know if you're going to stay a little chubby, but you're going to be able to shoot that ball. So we had a lot of quality moments together growing up, and he just taught me so much. He has one of the most amazing basketball minds I know. So I'm blessed to be able to pick his brain 24/7.
Yeah, that's a definite blessing. Like, who else can say that their first coach was an NBA superstar and someone who's achieved that greatly? I think that's awesome. But something I really like a part of that story is that, like, your archetype did not fit the bill necessarily. Right. I think now we see a lot of kids being like, oh, you need to play this or you need to do this, when it's like your body is going to continue to change. But not only that, your mind, you can actually form it. And so that definitely explains why now it's like, hey, girl, no matter how you're built, no matter how tall you are, how short you are, like, you're going to be able to shoot the ball. Yeah. And not only shoot, but handle the ball too. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about work ethic at the end of the day, and that's what my parents always taught me. Like, if you grow to 6 feet, which I wish I did, if you can run really fast, which I can't, your work ethic is always gonna, take precedent over everything else. And that's how I've been able to extend my career for 8 years, is at the end of the day, I love working hard. I love being in the gym. I love getting better. I'm a student of the game. So every day I'm just trying to learn something new and get a little bit better.
That's good. That slow progression, that 1%, if you will, I think is really impactful. And I just kind of had to laugh, like at the end of the day, what did Glow say? The day gotta end.
The day gotta end.
So hopefully, listeners, when we end that day, we can really end that day and say, hey, I made progress today. Maybe it wasn't perfect, but I did continue to make progress toward what I'm trying to be. And I think for me, it's like, I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do, but I knew who I wanted to become. I wanted to become a great communicator, someone who is trustworthy, someone who is going to do everything with the utmost quality. And so I can definitely see that in your journey too, saying, hey, whether it's shooting, whether it's doing this or that, you didn't rest back on your laurels and say, well, my dad did it. Definitely not a Nepo baby. You put in the work.
But shout out to the Nepo babies. We don't get enough love. We get quite a bit of hate. But I want to give some love to the Nepo
Go
babies
ahead.
out there.
Go ahead. I mean, listen, hopefully I can be in the same position for my own children someday.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
baby, mama didn't do this for nothing.
For nothing. We want to put you in positions to succeed and be able to chase your dreams. And I know this is so off topic now talking about Nepo babies, but it's just like why people want people to be ashamed of being put in great positions from a young age. I mean, isn't that what you work for? Isn't that what you want for your family? So I will never like disrespect the work that my parents put in to, you know, put a roof over our heads, have us never go without things, having us be able to chase our dreams. Like, I'm so grateful for them. And, you know, I know not everybody is blessed with that situation, and I don't take it for granted, but I would never like try to act like I was here without them.
Absolutely.
They're everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's almost like people in rap songs like, I had it hard. And it's like, actually, you grew up in a subdivision. That's interesting.
But private school.
Yeah, private school. Okay, that was tough. That was tough. But nevertheless, I mean, it's not just what you've been given. It's what are you going to do with it?
Right.
What are you going to do with what you have? Because I think there's a lot of language around, well, if I had what you had, I'm like, well, then go get it.
Go get it.
Go and get it. You have a mind, and a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but it's a great thing to invest in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not only that, like, our mind, our bodies, if you have health, you got everything.
Man, don't get me started on that.
I know. No, we're going to get there. And just to, like, keep it in order, okay, we just talked about, you growing up playing the game. Went on to college, you went to University of Maryland. What attracted you to that? And then you ended up transferring just a year later.
Yeah. So going to Maryland, I was the biggest Christy Tolliver fan. So she was their point guard. She led them to a national championship, which is to this day still their only one. And I just basically modeled my entire game after her game and the way she was able to just be herself effortlessly in that Maryland offense, in the city. Like, their games were just so lit. Like, I just loved everything about Maryland. So I went to their elite camp when I was in 9th grade, I think. And I went there. I played extremely well. I went home, told my dad, I want to go to Maryland. I don't care how long we have to wait for the offer. Like, that's where I want to go. And I remember having a conversation with Coach Freeze. And she told me in person that, you're young, so we're going to hold off, on the offer. You're like, you did great in the camp, but, like, you're still only in 9th grade. So, like, just wait a little bit. And I was like, cool, all right. Like, it's not normal to get an offer in 9th grade. But we drove home, got home, and they called back. And they're like, nope, we want to offer you right now. And I was like, yep, I'll take it. So from 9th grade on, I was able to just get ready for what they needed me to be when I stepped foot on campus, because I didn't want to be on the bench. I wanted to be there, make a difference, make an impact immediately. So
let's go. My goodness, what did I want in 9th grade? Probably an extra 65 cents for a cookie at lunch. Probably. I definitely do not think that I was sitting there waiting. And, like, I had glasses and braces. I didn't get cute, so I was like a sophomore or junior. But praise God for that.
Okay, shouldn't be either.
Ooh.
Maybe later.
Hey,
maybe like 5 years ago.
Hey, but sometimes when it takes a long
late
time.
Late bloomers. It's okay, guys. If you don't feel like you're there yet, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's good for character development to be a late bloomer.
Yes. Yeah. From you being chubby and not being able to move. Look at you now.
Couldn't do my hair, nothing. My edges was messed up.
The hair is huge. So I grew up in a community with not black people.
Yep, same.
And so my hair was a struggle. Mm-hmm. Yep, it was tough. My mom used to drive me all the way to Gary, Indiana, which was like an hour away from where I lived, to get my hair done. And that was just a silk press. Mm-hmm. It would last you a week, especially if you were hooping.
I got relaxers.
Me too. They just didn't know better, y'all. But once you know better, it's on you to do
better.
And now, okay, the knotless.
Yeah, look, braided queens.
There you go, braided back. I love it. With the boho is so nice.
I love this.
Like, is that human hair?
Yes.
I love that. That's okay. Lexie got money. Let's go. All right, you spent one season. So all of this
2 years.
2 years. Mm-hmm. 2 years at Maryland. Okay. All right. Check me. 2 years at Maryland, and then you said, "Yep, I did that, and now I'm going to transfer."
Yeah.
Yeah.
We changed conferences after my freshman year, and we went from the ACC, which was another dream of mine, playing ACC basketball, and we went to the Big Ten. And no shade to the Big Ten, which I can't really shade it now because it's not really even the same Big Ten that I played in. It just wasn't the style of basketball that I liked. I had no family in any of the cities we played in. It was cold as hell, snowing everywhere. Like, I hated it. So that, and then our whole coaching staff pretty much moved on, which good for them, amazing. Chase your opportunities, but those were my people, the assistant coaching staff. So that on top of just being really far from my family, I was like, I got to go. I got to blast. I got to go back to the ACC. So I honestly did not even want to go to Duke. My mom made me go on a visit there. And I was fighting her. But once I stepped on campus, I was like, oh, yeah, I belong here. I loved it there. So,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go to grow. And mama really does know best.
She does.
My
she
goodness.
reminds me all the time.
There's just this something inside. Like, they just know. They just know where we need to go and what we need to do. Shoot. I know this is not really the same thing, but I feel that way about my tambourine. So I got my tambourine in December for Christmas, and my mom just knew. I was like, I pulled that thing out, and man, it's immediately, she was taking videos in the living room. I was like,
shout out to the mamas.
Shout out to the moms for just knowing and blessing us and equipping us with sometimes that discernment that maybe we just don't have the 360 view.
Because I really was like, I'm not a Duke person. My mom's like, Lexie, you are literally a nerd. Like, these are your people.
Yes.
And she was absolutely right. Yeah. And best 3 years of my life were at
Duke Blue Devils. That's probably when the guys were cooking too, right?
I mean, they always cooking. Shout out to Duke. Yeah.
Oh,
Cooper Flag. Shout out Cooper Flag.
Yeah,
we had some hoopers come through when I was there. So definitely a different pace than Maryland, where it was the same group from my first year to my second year at Duke. It's like 10 new players every year, in and out. Then we see them on TV.
But that's just the evolution of the game nowadays. I mean, it's happening factory. Right now in the W. Like, players are signing on for 1 year. You give me for 1 year, 40 games, and we're waiting. It's 44 now.
44.
Yeah, 44 now. Look at, you're going to be tired.
Big tired.
When you got to Duke, you delivered, and thanks. I read that you 56 consecutive free throws.
Yeah.
You made 56 consecutive free throws.
Which is crazy because I don't even think I've taken 56 free throws, period, like my last 3 years in the WNBA.
I don't know if I've... No, she's still very aggressive, attacks the rim, draws fouls, all that.
They're bigger and stronger in the W. You know, I find my spots. But yeah, that record wasn't brought to my attention till like... I think when I got to like 54, 56-ish, that's when they were like, oh, you made this many rows of record, da-da-da-da. I missed my first free throw at NC State, and the gym they lost their minds. I was like, dang. And then we lost the game.
Everybody praying on your downfall.
I know, but that's a very impressive streak. 56?
56
I forgot about
awesome.
that.
Is awesome.
Thank you.
I almost think, though, that without you knowing that you hit 56, like, you were just doing business as usual.
Hey, free points.
Free throws are free for a reason.
Yeah.
And so that's why it make me so mad
when we miss.
Oh man,
I missed one last
I'll be
night.
sitting there. Yeah, but it wasn't like. Deadly.
No, but that's like the worst. Like literally one of the easiest shots. There's no defense, but there's some pressure. It's like the easiest yet the hardest shot in the game, but it is free.
Consistency is key, truly. I mean, in whatever you do in life, consistency is key. Racking up those wins, stacking those days. I talk about that all the time. Just, okay, whatever you're doing well and excellently, do it over and over again.
Even if you're bored.
Even if it's
boring.
Even if you don't want to.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Even when it's boring, even if you don't want to. Those are the days where you make the most progress, I feel. Those days where like, I don't feel like it.
Do it anyway.
Because that's how I feel sometimes workouts. Like the hardest thing about getting to a gym or, starting that paper or starting that proposal is starting it.
Yeah.
And then
starting that business. Talk about it.
Yeah.
You just started something new, your podcast.
Yeah.
Right? After your time featuring on Gil's Arena, you're like, I kind of
like yapping.
Yeah, sitting there yapping. But seriously, I think that your podcast feature on Gil's Arena brought a much needed female voice to the conversation.
Thanks.
And it was fun. It was fun seeing you hold your own, right?
Yeah.
Because them boys,
they're crazy.
Like, Lexie this, Lexie that.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, when I first started the show, it was kind of like I kind of got some negative feedback on that of me going on a show like that. Gil has had his opinions about women's basketball, which have now changed, which I think is amazing because people are allowed to change their opinions. It's okay to do that. But it was hard for me to kind of get started on that. And obviously the guys and the people at Gil's just embraced me from day one, which is why I was able to just deal with it and continue. But it took me a minute to win the chat over because we're a live show. Chat, they're ruthless. So it took me some time to win them over. We had a shootout. I literally had to prove that I could shoot in the shootout.
Come on.
I earned my respect, though, because I could have went in there and did horrible. But I went in there and showed them, guys, I actually am a good shooter. This is my job.
Yes. And agnostic if you're a male or female, if you can shoot, you can shoot.
If you can shoot.
Yes.
And now everybody want to be a shooter, which I love because I've always been one. So
keep some of that at LA Fitness. Come on.
Keep all that energy over there.
Yes. But actually, in real basketball, you pass the ball, you screen, you get different looks.
Lots of layers.
And that's what's going to be so cool, I think, about you in the 2025 WNBA season. Yes, you're going to still have that clip, but you've got some amazing other backcourt players that are going to be able to share the ball and really just make the defense choose.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to contest her or do I got to, kind of like fall back? I'm excited to see it because between you, Cam Brink, Odyssey Sims, which I just talked to earlier, De'Erica Hamby, like
Rakia.
Kelsey Plum, Rakia.
Yeah.
Y'all going to be something to mess with.
We got a little squad.
Me and my people are going to be all right, though. So.
Y'all are more than all right. Like, don't be humble now.
Let's go. Well, it's funny. I like jokingly say, like, I'm going to tell my kids I was in the league. Because, like, I have the jersey with my name on it. I get my tunnel photos.
Who gonna tell you no?
Right. Yeah, who gonna tell me?
Who gonna clock it?
I'm in my own league, but not
Period.
the W. Yeah.
No, Indiana, they're building something. And that's what I think a lot of the teams are building stuff, which we haven't really seen lately. It's been kind of random. Oh, this player looks kind of good. Let's bring her to this team. Oh, she looks good. Let's bring her to this team. We've seen like a lot of intention behind these teams. Also embracing players just exactly who they are.
Yes.
Like they're not trying to change anybody, which I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, I mean it's putting together a puzzle, right? Like you don't try to cut the pieces to manipulate them.
Exactly.
You say, okay, this fits here, this fits there. And I think the teams are really starting to find, okay, like I need this veteran. I need maybe this rookie can fit. Or hey, we're actually okay with playing rookies. Like straight out the gate, if you can perform,
exactly.
Yeah, get on the
ball
court.
In the basket.
Put the ball in the basket. Let's go. I want to talk a little bit about you with the Lynx in 2019. I feel like that is when you were really able to kind of find your flow again. You opened up in a game and had 5 threes, and you said, yep, Big Shot Brown is back.
Yeah.
How did that feel to just kind of get your mojo back? And then I guess more broadly, how does it feel just in general operating in your purpose? I even see that now with you in the media game. Okay, Gills was a great intro, but you're like, I want to do this at a higher level, and I want to do it consistently.
Yeah. My time in Minnesota, I think it was like career defining a little bit because, backstory, I was playing overseas still at the time, and the Serbian national team wanted me to come play for them. So they were going to give me a passport and all that stuff. So if anybody doesn't know, if you have a European passport, like that opens up the doors crazy for you in the overseas market. Like you get to go on better teams, you can make more money. You could have more Americans on your team because you're technically a foreigner. So I was really excited about that, considering how my rookie season had gone. It didn't go anywhere. I was on the bench. I didn't do anything. So I was overseas playing really well, was in conversations with the Serbian national team. We get the call that the Minnesota Lynx really want me. So I've gone 6 months of just feeling like this evil, ugly step kid on the Connecticut Sun. Oh, no. So to be wanted by a team like a powerhouse like the Minnesota Lynx, like who had just won a championship very recently at the time. Yeah. So that happened. That call came. Serbian national team says, we need you to miss almost half of the league to come train with us for the World Championships. So here, I had to make a decision. Do I want to invest in my WNBA career or do I want to invest in my overseas career? Obviously, I picked WNBA because that has always been my dream. And they're like, all right, well, that was fun. Sorry, you can't get the passport. And it was fine because that second year in the W was like amazing for me. And Odyssey was my point guard. So I'm really excited. Cool. Yeah, I'm really excited for her to come back to LA. You know, she's already played in LA, went to the finals with them. So she has experience and we have experience together. And yeah, that season was really amazing for me and it was really fun.
How cool. It costs to be the boss, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. You got to make choices sometimes.
You have to make choices. You got to make trade-offs. But the good thing is you dominated. And when you dominate, you got options.
Yeah.
Right? Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, I was able to interview him last year, and he drove that home. He was like, when you dominate, you got options.
He got lots of gems, one.
Yeah. I mean,
he's a walking gem.
On Twitter, or on X every day. And
Yeah.
actually, he's funny because he'll screenshot it and then put it on Instagram. Typos and all.
Yeah,
Some
don't
of the
care. He said, I said what I said.
I said what I said. I'm standing on
I'm
it.
standing on it.
But when you're Coach Prime, you can
do
say
whatever
what
you
you
want.
want. When you dominate, you got options. So cool. The 2023 season, you spent some time not playing basketball because you were dealing with something off the court. And I know you've talked pretty broadly about that and have really used your platform to really encourage people to get educated on health. But if you just kind of want to brief us on what that meant for you, and then also mentally how you were able to remain so resilient to then pull up and really get excited for these new seasons.
Yeah, so I've been struggling with Crohn's disease, which I currently still deal with to this day, but obviously I have it very much under control. I mean, it's taken some time, but that's the thing with autoimmune. You don't really have a perfect path to health and wellness in your life anymore. You kind of just have to play it by ear. So being a professional athlete, that's kind of hard, especially when your life is so routine and regimented and basically surrounded by your body feeling good. So the last 2 years was really tough for me. There was a time where I thought I was never going to be able to play basketball again. There was a time where I thought I was never going to really be able to even exercise or anything ever again. So, getting through that hurdle and, being with the amazing doctors at UCLA, like they changed my life. Like the way they poured into me as Lexie the person, and then also Lexie the professional basketball player. They just prioritized me in a way that was so amazing to me, and I'm so grateful for them because they really saved my life and saved my career. So getting back to this Lexie has been a journey. It's been a process, but I've found some beauty in it. I've found my purpose. I've met some amazing people. I've found a community in the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation based out of LA. I've been able to work with them, and I got to speak at a gala, a fundraiser, which was amazing, meet some other people who suffered from, Crohn's and colitis. So it's just been eye-opening. I approach my life very differently now. I approach basketball very differently now, and I just enjoy it a little bit more.
There's always beauty in the struggle if you're willing to find it. And so I definitely think your journey has been indicative of that. I mean, clearly that's tough. Nobody wants to go through, a health crisis, because when you have health, you can pray for everything else. When you don't have health, you're just praying for health. I think it's really great, though, how you've used that struggle and that journey to just advocate and say, hey, look, I'm here. I've gone through it, but I didn't just go through it. I got through it. And look at what you can do and look at what you can be. I think that representation is huge, and also being so transparent with an area of vulnerability. Yeah. Vulnerability is truly a superpower, and I think that's so incredibly evident with you.
Oh, thanks.
So it's so cool.
Thank you.
Lexie, you not only are doing your thing on the court, but just blessing tunnels all around the league. So you're into fashion, and you work with a stylist?
Sometimes,
but sometimes you could just put it on.
I love Pinterest.
There you go.
Pinterest is, if y'all don't want a stylist or you don't have money for a stylist, just go on Pinterest. Yeah. Just type in the fit you want, and it's just endless options. So that's really where I get inspo for a lot of my outfits is Pinterest.
Yeah, which is so cool. You have some partnerships though that also kind of help.
Oh yeah, shout out Fashion Nova. Okay. Shout out True Religion. Yep. Making a comeback. Yeah, I mean, I've always felt like being comfortable is key, and then you don't always have to spend a lot of money to look good. And you wear the clothes, they don't wear you. So whatever you put on, you can make it look like it's worth a lot. People put on expensive things all the time, and it looks very cheap. So it's about what makes you comfortable and who you are. And I've really loved seeing everybody come into their style, which they've always had style, but it was never really celebrated in the sports space. So it's really been cool seeing athletes being able to merge fashion and sports and culture. It's been really cool to be a part of.
It's all one and the same for sure. I grew up in a little farm town, so I used to go places in boots. It was bad.
It's okay.
And Spurs. Have you ever seen people do that?
Spurs?
Yeah,
like cowboy Spurs?
Yep. Oh. I used to walk around in those. I've come a long way.
That's cute though.
Yeah. No,
do you have them here? We're in Nashville. It's fitting.
We're in Nashville. I should.
You should bust them out.
Don't do me.
I might go get a pair of cowboy boots while I'm here.
Really?
I heard they're expensive though.
Oh, they vary. Yeah. I mean, try and get a brand deal. Yeah.
The cowboy boots.
Be
I'm gonna go walk into a store. We're making cowboy hats this weekend, so
that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Cool. Yeah, so I will be back again at the tail end of our Nashville experience.
So bring the boots.
So I've got to warn you though, like these are farm boots. They're not cute. Like they got dings and dirt. So
I don't care.
I don't think that my farm boots are gonna make a debut, but trust that I have them. Okay.
Okay.
Trust that I have them.
I need you to
sure.
send me a picture of them.
Yeah, they're.
I quite literally cannot visualize this. So
Yeah, like I used to be a little hillbilly, a little bit.
cute.
Yeah.
Love
Come a long way.
that.
Yeah.
Did you have horses and stuff?
I did. So I actually showed horses for 10 years.
Oh my gosh,
And
I
I
used
showed
to ride
pigs.
horses when I was little.
Really?
Yeah.
We
were in Florida.
Oh, okay.
You just unlocked a memory.
Florida woman riding horse in the street.
You just unlocked a core memory of mine. Yes, I had the little hat, the little riding boots, everything.
Wow.
That didn't
That's
last long though.
You know, you might be able to beat me at basketball, but I was good with horses.
Good for you.
Yep.
I love that.
I'm
Horses
good
are
with it.
beautiful animals.
They're so cool.
I love
and
horses.
that's really where I learned stewardship, like taking care of things. I mean, basketball, I was a mediocre basketball player. I'm just going to say, y'all. Very mediocre. If I go to like a local YMCA though, I'm that girl.
Period.
Yeah, I am. And then I wear a bunch of WNBA stuff. So
they're like, did you play?
And I
you're
was
like,
like,
yeah.
No, I like see how far I can take it without being like, dang, I'm lying.
Because Google exists.
Yeah, I know it's so bad, but I definitely do have a lot of player issued stuff because when people be getting cut, I'm like, hey, can I get your?
Oh yeah, because I'm like, here.
Oh yes,
it.
and it's always spiteful, and so I'm like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Hey, just leave it outside. I'm gonna get it.
Bucket full of spite.
But they're
Via
cute.
clothes.
It's cute stuff. I like it.
I gave away so much of my stuff.
I bet. So
Leave it there.
any players getting traded, hey, just from the field, holler at me because I love that stuff.
I love free gear. So I can pretend to be y'all.
No, honestly,
You look like a hooper though.
Yeah, because I am. Catch me at LA Fitness.
You look like a hooper.
At LA Fitness, the YMCA, the local Boys and Girls Club, all of that.
Period.
With my stuff.
Yeah.
And I just got
Suited.
some Sabrina 2s as well. So shout out
Those
to Nike.
shoes are so hard.
Gifted me those. What are you playing in right? You got
Reebok.
Some Reebok. Of course, because you're a Reebok athlete.
I'm a Reebok girl,
That
but
makes sense.
those Sabrinas are
What
hard.
size do you wear?
I wear a 10 in women's.
Yeah, that'll probably work for me.
Okay, got you.
Usually I wear like a 9, but I can make a 10 work.
You look like a clown. Some clown shoes.
That's funny.
That's how I used to look when I was little. Chubby and big old feet.
Oh.
Just a mess.
We're going to have to get a picture of that.
I got them. I'm not
that's
ashamed.
interesting.
Because look at me now.
Pop out right quick. Let's go. Lexie, as you are now continuing to play professional basketball, both with Athletes Unlimited in the off season and WNBA with the LA Sparks, you're also with your off the court endeavors with your media. So full circle.
Yeah.
How much fun has that been to build alongside Mariah?
It's been amazing. Mariah's been great. Her sports content on TikTok always has me weak and laughing, and just the way she breaks down sports so simply for everybody to understand is like, and she keeps it really fun and she keeps it really light, which is basically what I wanted my show to be. Very fun, very light, very informative. It's been like a year in the making. So I remember getting a text from Sue Bird, and she was the one who actually connected me with iHeart with this podcast. I almost fell out of my chair because I was like, Sue Bird is texting my phone.
I was going to say, like, does this normally happen?
No,
because I'm about to fall out of this chair.
She was like, hey, this is Sue, and in parentheses, Bird. I was like, what? She texted me for talking about a damn podcast. I'm like, oh.
You said yes. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it was just an honor that, you go through your life and sometimes you feel like you're being overlooked and people aren't paying attention to what you're doing, but you really never know who is watching you and who's keeping tabs on what you're doing and how you conduct yourself. So in that moment, I was like, oh, dang, like people have been watching what I've been doing. So I'm glad I've been behaving myself, one, and showing that I could be a good voice for the WNBA and college women's basketball and stuff like that, which has always been a dream of mine, is continuing to uplift women's basketball any way that I can. So
let's
it's
go.
been fun.
Really, really good ad about you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
Because people are watching.
People are always watching.
Are people seeing you and saying she's a good investment or is she a liability?
Yeah. Exactly.
Assets over liabilities for sure.
Absolutely.
And I think that you have plenty of opportunities to prove that on Gil's Arena, which only further substantiated you getting not only the sponsorship, like that's great, but also the confidence and saying, this is what I'm going to do. This is the value that I'm going to provide. We're going to talk about sport. We're going to talk about confidence. We're going to talk about being a woman and just making that accessible and available.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Thanks.
Lexie, well, thanks so much for joining us today. As we close out, The entire point of this podcast, well, it's also my namesake, Liv.
I love the name.
Yeah, living in victory.
Love
I'm
that.
actually going to play my jingle
And it's
for you.
your initial. Yeah, that's fire.
Liv. Yep, I am.
Did you make that up yourself?
Yep, I did. Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, I feel like God told me, so I just did it. But it was great. I wrote a jingle and everything, recorded it. It's actually pretty intense.
Wow.
Yeah. In
you're
Nashville,
locked
y'all.
in.
So, yeah, so we're recording this podcast in Nashville, and the other day went to the studio and just recorded a couple songs.
You can sing?
No, rap.
Oh, period. She said, no, I rap.
Yeah, I rap. Get on the track. Come on. Yeah,
Let me do some ad libs. Write me a rap live.
They used to call me Big Harvest.
I want to be a rapper and a DJ so bad. Can you write me a verse?
I actually think, okay, all right. Yeah.
I feel like I got the voice for it. I just need a beat.
Will. Yeah. I mean,
I can't write a rap. I've been in the studio and I've tried. I don't have that. That part of my brain has not been unlocked yet.
Right. Yeah, all right. By the end of this, Athletes Unlimited, we're going to unlock that.
Oh my God.
We're going to unlock that.
Yes.
Uh-oh, Big Harvest is back, baby.
Big Harvest. Big Harvest and Big Lexie. Woo!
See, I'm big, not Big Lexie. Oh my.
Big Lex, not the little one on the track. Oh, okay. Don't get me started. Look, I already am here.
This is amazing. I wanted to resurrect Big Harvest, but I just didn't know. I didn't know if the people would like it. Anyway, hey,
Big Harvest is crazy.
You think?
No. Because I look at you, like
now,
when you say Big Harvest, like this is not what comes to mind.
Okay, fine. I'll bring the boots and I'll show you what Big Harvest is like.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. As we close out, this podcast platform is called Living in Victory, because we all want to win. Lexie Brown, what is your piece of advice for someone who's looking to live in victory?
My advice, I've developed quite a little booklet of advice gems. So let me see which one I want to use today. I think one that is relevant right now, because there is so much going on and people getting so many opportunities, which I personally love because I love when everybody wins, is you do not have to dim someone else's light for yours to shine. I think that's simple, doesn't really need an explanation. Your lane is your lane, their lane is their lane. And that's that. So just keep focusing on your goals and what you want to do, and they'll come to you.
Living in Victory, family, thanks so much for tuning in today with Lexie Brown. Remember, go out, continue to live in victory, because you're already a winner. See you next time. Live out. Who's gonna stop you? No one. Let's ride.